know what your lead conversion was last year? And do you know how long it takes you to convert a lead? Because if you don't, I think you should watch episode 213. Hello, it's Emma Mills here, armed with pen and whiteboard, and this week's episode 213 is for you if you have 1 lead or 100 leads coming into your business, and I think this episode is going to help. Because I think that too many business owners are only focused on shiny new lead generation tools like going on a Facebook ad course or trying to figure out how TikTok advertising is going to help somebody selling widgets get more of them sold, and like going all in on, I'm going to learn this now, I'm going to find out that. When if you already have leads coming into your business, and let me just caveat this with, I'm not saying that you shouldn't try lots of different marketing things, because clearly you need to find the thing that works for you and you want to try, but if that is at the expense of the leads you have coming into your business already, then most business owners are missing a trick. And in my experience, the second most common thing that most small, medium-sized business owners do is that when they get a lead in, after they have spoken to that person or sent them something or sent a quote or they've interacted with them at least once, that is considered followed up. Like, that is done, that will have spoken to that person. If they want to buy, they're going to buy. And that is the second biggest fail I think that most business owners make, because two parts to that. One follow-up is just no follow-up at all in my experience, and the second part of that being that most business owners, after they've had the first call, which is predominantly around answering questions on the service, the product, whatever it might be, I guess it's more of in most cases, an exploratory call, a discovery call, whatever you want to. So it's like an active call that the business owner feels confident on, that they're like answering questions. It's like, oh yeah, interested in this. So it's like a tangible thing that they can hang value on and feel confident in delivering. And then after that first call, the follow-up, as we call it, so these are just calls now. So that after that, most, the calls then are like, have you got any more questions? Are you still interested? Have you bought elsewhere? Are you ready to buy? So that's the second call. And all the calls after that cover off these kind of 5 questions. Most people then don't do those, because the first call is like, well, I get it, the person has said they are interested and I'm going to do my best to try and give them everything they need. And then when they don't buy after this first call, the rest of the calls feel, for a lot of people, a bit like, oh, I don't like, honestly, there's so many conversations we have with customers that we work with on our lead follow-up products at MiPA. So we've got a team of specialists who do the follow-up. So when it's like the most common thing that actually they don't really enjoy doing it, and it's a thing they'll put to last. And I get it, and this is not like judgment in any way, shape or form, that predominantly they then spend their time trying to get more leads in, so learning new things, just getting more leads in, than actually working with the leads they already have, which I think most businesses have a pot of money sat there that are just waiting to be reminded to do business with. And that's why we provide lead follow-up as one of our key services, because it's one of the big missing jigsaw pieces. I am actually addicted to jigsaws at the moment, hence my jigsaw analogy. It's one of the own goals, I think, that we can easily solve. And this is what today's video is about, is 2 things that MiPA are focusing on this year. I think you can focus on it too. We can help you focus on it, because a lot of your customers that come to you this year will already be sat in your list. They already know about you, and all they need is prompt to buy, to be reminded, to be front of mind when they are ready to buy. Just as an aside, I had a conversation with a friend of mine last year, and they sell high, big ticket products. And after they've delivered the quote, really big ticket products, after they've delivered the quote, after they've done a follow-up, if they don't hear from them again, they don't follow up, because in their mind, if they're not ready to buy straight away, they are not interested. They move on to the next thing. And I said, wow, that has to be such a massive lost opportunity. For me at MiPA, and I get lots of comments, particularly about one of my team who heads up our sales team, Helena, about her prolific follow-up. People mention to me so many times, you're not getting away from Helena. You are, you're being reminded, you're being checked in at when you've asked to be followed up. Our follow-up process is prolific, but you are doing your prospects a favor. You are reminding them that you add value and that when they are ready, you are there. So here are my 2 questions that my PA are absolutely drilling down into this year, and I think you need to look at as well. So question number 1 is, how many leads do you convert out of your lead pot? So I'm just going to show you what my PA was like in the last 3 years. So to keep the numbers simple, and these are like, oh no, got a run out pen, just bear me. Let's give it a quick shake. So to keep the numbers simple, this is actual live data on our call answering service. Just looking back over the past 3 years, so in 2020, and at this point, which is one of the main points to note here in 2020, that Emma Mills was doing all of the follow-up when she had time. So she didn't have a Helena, she didn't have anybody else helping her with sales or any lead follow-up. So this was much more sporadic. I was having an initial call, like I talked about, sending the information, and they were getting follow-up when I got chance, when I tried to block time out. It wasn't systematic, it wasn't rhythmic, it was just ad hoc. It was a lower down the list task. Higher above the list was, how am I going to get more leads in? So just here, had 0 sales help. So to keep the numbers simple, I'm going to keep it out of 100. So out of 100, in our call answering, this is not across the whole business. Our PA support leads are different because we're known for PA support, but call answering, higher commoditized product, lots of call answering businesses. So out of 100 leads in that year, we were converting 10 into customers. So doesn't take a Carol Vorderman to know that that was like a 10% conversion that we had on leads, and this is without any follow-up, any sales help. So in 2021, out of every 100 leads, we were winning 15. So in 2021 here, now Emma does have sales help, and we're converting 15% of leads. And in 2022, and the big change last year is that Helena, my sales assistant, is taking 90% of all sales calls now and doing the follow-up, and Emma was left with 10% of some of the bigger deals or people that knew me directly already and calls were being booked in, but Helena was doing 90% and out of 100. So actually, it's a big thing, I know, when you get somebody else to do your lead follow-up and it's not you, because you're like, only I know how to do it. They know me. My face is plastered all over the website. I know all the objections. It is possible if you've got that thought in your head. So in 2022, out of 100, we were converting 22. So the more help I had, let's not say I'm a terrible salesperson. Let's say I was very time poor. No, but honestly, like, this is what most people who run businesses do. They dedicate their time to everything else. Lead follow-up gets pushed to the back, and it's it's not like a quick win, but it's a simple thing to get somebody to do. It's just time dedicated and needed to nurture, to build relationships. And follow-up is just about having friendly, intelligent conversations, listening to people's questions, getting them answered, reminding you of them, just moving them along, just like nudging them along slowly and gently down that sales funnel to becoming a customer, and you helping them, because ultimately that's what a sales conversation is. It's understanding how you can help somebody. So in 2022, literally our conversion rate went up to 22%. And now clearly our focus now in 2023 is, I want to drop that to, I don't think I'll fully eradicate this year, just because some opportunities I will possibly orchestrate, conjure, but the follow-up, I would drop that down to 5% in 2023, when Helena and our lead follow-up team are now responsible for almost the majority of all sales being made, which I know, just to reiterate, a couple of years ago, if you'd have said that other people were making the sales in my business, I fully had it in my head that was nigh on impossible for PA support sales to be made, call answering, because only I could do it, and it's just not true. It's just in your own head. So in 2023 now, we've got a really clear goal across our sales and marketing team of how do we get this to 30? How do we get it to 30%? How do we get it to 40%? What is happening from when a lead comes in and they first, predominantly most of them, first have a conversation? What is happening after this? How, can we shorten this time? Can they get email follow-up automatically? Can we slot in videos to like videos from the salesperson to them to remind them? Can we slot in text messages? Can we slot in more follow-up? What are we doing after this to increase this? Is it about lead quality? This for me now in our, as I said, this video is about if you're getting leads into the business, whether you're getting 1 lead, whether you're getting 10 leads, whether you're getting 100 leads. If you're getting leads in, the focus should not always be about how can I get more and from different places. It's about how with the ones that you've got, how can I get it from 10 to 15 to 20? Because we ultimately don't need any more leads to win 18% more business, 8% more business. That will have a dramatic effect on less marketing spend and more going straight into the pot and to the bottom line. So this is our focus. If you don't know what your lead conversion is, it has to be something that you focus on in January and early this year, so that you don't like go off and spend marketing money unnecessarily. My second point is do you know how long it takes you to convert a lead? So our second focus this year, as opposed to just spending more money to get more leads, is how long does it take us to convert a lead into a customer? Now, when we looked at this, we did this last week in early January. I'll just do the last 2 years. So in 2021, believe it or not, so this is the year that I had some sales help, not all, and we fully hadn't got into the mode of like Emma wasn't doing sales anymore. It was taking up too much time. In 2021, for our call answering, our sales cycle was 176 days, half a year. Like, that's a phenomenal amount of time to get somebody in and across the line as a customer. 176 days, shocking. Now, when I got help, when I got proper help, and I'm only doing a very small amount of follow-up and somebody else is doing it rhythmically because they've got daily, weekly tasks, because they set tasks when they've spoken to somebody who says, ring me back in 3 months, and it actually happens, as opposed to me setting a task and then forgetting about it or being too busy. When I've then got full help, our average sales cycle was 59 days. Sales is not about taking money off people. It is about you providing the service and helping people. It's about us capturing more calls, capturing more inquiries, generating more bookings for our clients, making their lives better. So not only are we impacting more people in a much shorter period of time and getting stuck in, supporting them, helping them, we are converting the leads that we've spent money on. We're getting that money back into the business faster to replenish the money we've spent on the lead to get a new customer. We are getting the money out of the list quicker than when it was just me on my own trying to manage the leads that were coming through. And so clearly in 2023, our target is, well, what can we do to get that in a shorter period of time? How can we help more people? How can we keep the money flowing from the money that we spend on marketing into the list? So 2023 is like, okay, how can we get that? That's ultimately 2 months. How can we get that down to 6 weeks? How can we get that, how can we get that down to 45 days? How can we get it down to a month, 28 days, and really show people quickly the impact that we can have on their lives? And then I've got less focus on getting more leads. I'm getting more out of the leads and I'm getting it out quicker. And I hope this all makes sense. I've used our call answering service, and these are live facts and figures to actually show you how we're working on it. And if you don't have the support in your business to do the follow-up, please, please, please drop me a line, because our lead follow-up service does exactly this. It gets rhythmic, consistent, intelligent, friendly people who deep dive into your product or service and know about it to follow up. And if you don't have that happening in your business, even just as an example, in between Christmas and New Year, one of our clients, mortgage broker, he had 200 old leads that, when I say old, they hadn't had contact for, it was 156 days. That was like the oldest. There's a like big bunch of leads here that have either had a call before, that haven't gone anywhere, and our lead follow-up team contacted them. Out of the 200, they made 7 appointments. Now, it took around 10 hours to do that. And the 7 appointments, a mortgage broker, his like average sale was like £750. So the 7, let's say he converts even 3 of them, that's over 2,000 in revenue back that was just sat there, and nothing would have happened because his mortgage brokers are all busy and they're just dealing with the new appointments coming in. But it's so smart for you to work with what you've got. It doesn't cost you any money in acquiring new leads. It just costs you some time in getting them followed up and moved through the process. I hope this really gets you thinking on how many leads you're converting and can you improve that? What can you do to improve that? And the sales cycle, like, can you get that shorter and shorter and impact more people? There's lots of figures in here. Next week, we're going to dive into some of the things that you can do to help in both of those areas. But I hope episode 213 gets your head out of the dirt into making more sales, impacting more people, and into the clouds. And I'll see you next week for episode 214 with my trusty flip chart. See you then. Bye bye.